If you've ever stepped out of bed and you felt pain right here, feels like a nail going into the bottom of your heel, then you know exactly what plantar fasciitis is. For 2 years, I tried everything I possibly could to get rid of plantar fasciitis, only for it to return with a vengeance. Extreme pain when you get up out of the morning and that first step before there's any circulation down there and you have that burning pain, that sharp shooting pain. I couldn't walk, I couldn't sprint, I couldn't do any of that. I was absolutely debilitated. I was doing everything in my power. I was doing a lot of the stretching, using something like a slant board or stretching off of a step. I was doing hot and cold daily or multiple times a day just to make it feel better. It was the only thing that would take the pain from like a 7 or 8 down to a 2 or 3 so I could actually get through the day. Now, if you're police, fire, or military, you're familiar with wearing boots on a regular basis for large amounts of time. The protection that the boots provide also come with a price. That is that you lose the movement or the mobility of the ankle. So I want to show you guys after 2 years what I actually did to fix this. Most people that spend all their time focusing on the calf. Now, while the calf plays a major part, you also have all these other aspects. You have the bottom of your foot, you have the big toe, you have the full length of the calf, you have the hamstring, and you have the hips, okay? So it's not just the boots that are causing the problem, but also all the sitting that we do. All this sitting locks up our hips, and most people have chronically tight hips. That also leads to back pain. All right, you guys excited? This right here moved the needle the most, okay? But if you stack this up with all the other things I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be able to fix it for good like I did. Now, what you're gonna need is an Olympic barbell, okay? Or some similar bar that's about that big around. If you don't have that, you can get a dowel. You know, you could just take the broom off the end if you don't have anything, and you could use that. I don't like this as much, okay, but it does work. And if you don't have even that, you can even use your shin, okay, like this. And I'm gonna show you how to do that in a second. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this barbell and we're gonna bring it up here into all the way up to the back of our knee. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly settle down. We're gonna move back into that, sink back on that. And that is going to smash, oh, this calf, or the bottom of this foot is cramping up. See, mine are tight already. Okay, we're gonna slowly move down, and that's gonna smash the back of the calf, but also the back of the hamstring, okay? Then you're gonna move forward, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that bar, and you're gonna move from side to side like this. You're gonna do that for a little bit, and then you're gonna roll it down about 1 inch, and you're gonna do it again. And you're gonna do that all the way down to your Achilles. Now, what you're doing is you're looking for the most tender spots. Now, on the foot that you have plantar fasciitis, you're gonna find a place that's super, super tight and irritated, okay? That's where you wanna spend most of the time. You may only be able to spend a little amount of time because it might be so painful. Don't go past a 7, okay? You don't want to bruise something, you don't want to make it worse. But when you find that area, just go back and forth and smash that sucker out, okay? Just like that, go all the way down, 1 inch at a time, all the way down to Achilles heel. Spend about 30 seconds to 2 minutes on it. Now, like I said, if you don't have the barbell or you don't want to use the barbell, which I think it's the most effective by far, just use the dowel. Same thing, okay? You might have to push down and add more of your own pressure in it because it's not as heavy. If you don't have that, then you take, like this, you take your shin and kind of try to do the same thing, like that. I've heard it called a shin bone saw before, but you're looking for those areas that are nice and tight and you want to work those out, okay? Now, that's step 1. Step 2 is you may want to smash the bottom of your feet a little bit. If the bottom of your feet, those arches are nice and sore, you can do that. You can do that with this. You can have, with a lacrosse ball, and you can smash it out. Don't push on the bony areas. Just push on the areas of the arch, okay? Open that up a little bit. Now, we're gonna move into the second part, which is toe dorsiflexion. That's how much your toe can actually flex upwards. And what we're gonna do is we're going to bring it back, and we're gonna take our knee, slowly drop it down as far as you can go. And you're gonna work into that. See, I'm using my hand to brace myself so I can determine how much pressure I put on it. You're not forcing this. You're not forcing these things. You're spending 30 seconds to 1 or 2 minutes on each one of these things, okay? but you may only be able to do 10 or 15 seconds when you first do it because it's so tight and so painful. All right? Now, you're gonna do that on both sides. We're gonna move to the next thing. All right, the next problem area is gonna be your hamstrings. Now, we did a little smashing on the hamstrings, okay? What we're gonna do is we're just gonna do something that's called elephant walks. So we're just gonna bend over. If you can't touch the ground with your fingers, right? If you're super, super tight, then grab something like this that you can actually scale it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go toe, heel, and when you go back, you don't wanna lock out back, but you wanna go kind of straight with your knee, with your leg. You're gonna straighten your leg out. You're gonna do that with each one, okay? And you're gonna feel a nice stretch on your hamstring up into your hip, all right? As that gets to the point where you feel like that's getting more and more loose, you can go down further and further. So you're gonna do this for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, okay? That is gonna open up your hamstrings, which is another part, okay? This whole string runs from your big toe, your arch, around your heel, up through your calf, hamstrings, and into your hip. We wanna hit all of those things. All right, so don't neglect this, okay? That is the hamstring portion. Now we've got one more left. All right, the next problem area is gonna be the hip. All right, I'm not sure what this is called. I like to call it a power pigeon because it reminds me of the pigeon pose in yoga, but you're doing it on an inclined bench. The steeper the angle, the easier it is. As you drop down, this bench only has like two levels, but you can get to the point where you find those benches that go all the way down, and each level you go down is harder or more challenging. And I'm gonna show you how to do this up against a wall. So what you do is you get in here, put your foot here, right, your knees here is bent, and what you're gonna do is that you're gonna try to get chest to knee, like this. And you can bring your arm over like that, and you're gonna feel it deep in this side of the hip. You can also change the back leg over here to the side to make it harder. So if I'm here, it's easier. If I bring my foot over here, it's harder, okay? And this will really get down into those deep hip muscles as you're stretching forward. I'm gonna show you how to do that against the wall in case you don't have a bench. All right, if you don't have a bench, I call this the figure 4. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. What you do is you're gonna go up against the wall, right? The further out you are, the easier it is. I generally go where I can touch or just out further than that. And you're gonna push your foot into the wall, you bridge up, and you cross your leg over, and then you drop your hips down. You're gonna feel that nice stretch right there. And you're gonna take this arm, and you can take it, and you can press out against your knee, flex your toe up to protect the side of your knee. Now, you're gonna rock back and forth. Find the tightest areas, like for me right there, and hang out in that area for a little bit, maybe push into it. Now what you can also do, take this leg, cross it over even further, and drop down to the side, really get some areas that you wouldn't normally get. You can even get some lower back and some QL up in there. It opens up this whole outside of your hip. This is absolute gold. All right, in summary, if you want to get rid of your plantar fasciitis for good, follow these 5 steps. Use the barbell, calf, and foot smash. Work on your big toe. Open up your hamstrings. Open up your hips. And then finally go into a full, long calf stretch. And here's a massive bonus tip. Use hot, cold alternating back and forth to reduce pain and inflammation until you fix your shit.